gentlemen, we are with the Bellator superstars, Josh Thomson. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. How are you doing today?
Doing good. It's a great venue. Look at this place, man. It's awesome. We're right here on the water. It's awesome. I'm having a blast already so far.
Hell yeah, that's amazing. So I know you have a gym in San Jose, Knox Gym, right?
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Right now what we're doing is developing like younger kids, get them into martial arts, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, things like that. I try to really emphasize the judo and jiu-jitsu, so the kids, they learn how to grapple and take care of themselves on the mat, body control, stuff like that. I also have fitness programs that run for adults, also for the kids as well, and kickboxing for adults as well. So it's a great little program we have. It's a one-stop shop kind of gym. Everyone just comes in, you know, they get their workout and they bounce out.
That's great, but now that you mention that about having like programs for the kids, there's a lot of people who think that MMA is just way too dangerous for kids. They actually like frown upon, you know, having kids fighting. Like, what do you have to say to people that are so like opposed to MMA and kids?
I just kind of laugh about it, but the biggest thing is I tell for kids is like parents, put your kids in some sort of jiu-jitsu, put them in some sort of wrestling, some sort of judo, something along those lines. What you're doing with the kids is you're getting them to interact with other kids. Also, it teaches them that you see their kids are doing that anyways if they're watching WWE, right? Then they don't know what they're doing. At least they have instruction doing this, right?
You might as well get proper training so you don't hurt yourself.
The one thing you'll learn with the kids, right? The kids will learn in wrestling, the kids will learn in jiu-jitsu not to quit, not to give up. They'll learn the importance of it being an individual sport. Nothing is more important than having a kid learn that when you compete, when it's just you out there on the mat, on how to take care of yourself. And that to me in life that's a life lesson.
So what do you think are the most important fundamentals that you learn from the sport like MMA?
Well, look, you have teammates, right, that you train with, but when you're out there competing, it's just by yourself. As far as MMA goes, if you want to compare the two between boxing and MMA, I get hit a lot less. I have several fights where I've never been hit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the fights ended there. See, the fights ended in a minute. But in boxing, you can't say the same, especially at a young age. They don't have the power, but then your child's just taking constant abuse, getting punched in the face over and over. In MMA, I can grab you, I can hold you, I can lock you down, I can armbar, I can choke, things like that. You can tap. Those are things that parents should understand. They need to get more knowledgeable with this type of information, knowing that the kids, when you teach them how to wrestle, how to grapple, most kids' fights, right, at school, they end up where they grab each other, they end up on the ground.
Yeah.
If your son or your daughter knows how to control someone to the point where they can't do any harm to them, but they can just hold them until someone comes to break it up, what's important? That to me is more important than teaching your kid how to strike, to actually literally beat another kid up.
That's awesome. So what's the youngest age that kids can start going into a gym and start training?
It really depends on their level of, like, how they understand. Their attention span is key. If the kid comes in, I let them come in 4, 5, 6 years old.
So you basically want to get a feel for their talent first, I guess you could say.
What I offer at Knox is I tell the parents, look, bring them in. I'll let your kids train for 2 or 3 days straight for free, okay?
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I want them to know. I want to know first if the kid even likes it. If the kid doesn't like it, then okay, look, there's no reason to have him here. You're a parent just wasting your money. Okay. The other thing too is I want to see if the parent actually likes seeing what their kid's doing for those 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, and if we have a connection and they work in well with the other kids, then it's a good fit. Bring him in. Let's get him in here.
Well, that's really good because you can tell that you're really looking out for them and not just, you know, trying to get more people in your gym. So that's awesome. So I know you also have a clothing gear, Knox Fit gear, that I actually did a photo shoot for. I had to throw that in there real quick. Your guys' workout gear is like amazing. It's so comfortable. It's stretchy. Like, you're an MMA fighter, so what motivated you to basically go into different avenues and paths?
So when we started Knox Gear a long time ago, it was mainly like we were doing Knox lifestyle stuff, a little bit of fitness stuff as well, but then we broke away from the lifestyle a little bit, and we started moving into like kind of the fitness industry, CrossFit, Knox Fit is what we called it, Knox Fit. We moved into that area, and then when I opened the gym, Knox, it actually just all came together. So we do gis, we do rash guards, dry fit style stuff for kids, adults, everything. So not only that, but then we also do great shorts and sweaters and stuff like that. So for everything that you would need if you were out to be out running around, you know, if you were gonna run the streets at night, you can wear our gear. It's comfortable, it's all universal, everything along those lines is what we designed it around.
Yep, that's awesome. Okay, so you're a Bellator superstar now. Okay, so after fighting for the Bellator, because I know you also used to fight for UFC.
Yep.
So is there any differences fighting for Bellator and fighting for UFC?
There's a lot of differences. So first, I make more money with Bellator. So that's the first thing, right? That's the most important thing, right? I mean, hey, you talk to any professional athlete, the first thing they're gonna say is, look, I went with the company that paid me the most, the company that looked out for me the most.
Yeah.
That's what every athlete wants. So, but as far as the overall differences, I've fought all the biggest organizations from UFC to Pride to Dream, Strikeforce. I'm the former Strikeforce world champion. You know, now I'm with Bellator. So my whole ideal situation is, I came up with the promoter for Bellator who used to be the owner of Strikeforce. Now he's the head promoter. He's basically the promoter for Bellator. I went where the family was, and to me, like as you can tell by talking about my Knox gym, I develop personalities and families, that type of atmosphere. When you come into my gym, it's not a fight gym. It's for everyone. I have people that are 60 years old. They're doing the workout right next to me and next to a kid that's like 15 years old. So everybody's working out together. We're all training together. And that's the type of atmosphere that I expect when I show up to my work. My work is Bellator. You know, I show up to fight. That's my work. That company represents me, and I represent that company. So you want to be with the company that you feel the best with. And to me, that fit is Bellator.
So you definitely value loyalty. You can say that.
100%, right? I mean, I got a big family. You know, my mom, she's Mexican. My dad's Scottish Dutch, and those type of personalities that match together. Those values that don't come. Your family, your friends come first, right? Look, the rest of it, everything, family's first.
That's so awesome. So you're from the Bay Area, from San Jose. So how did it feel? You just fought not too long ago in San Jose for the Dynamite 1, the Bellator. How did it feel winning that big fight that was just so anticipated in your hometown? 11,000 people. That's huge. That's awesome. How did that happen?
The reason why I went back to Bellator, because Bellator now is committed to fighting in San Jose 3 to 4 times a year. To me, that is huge. There's nothing like sleeping in your own bed, waking up, making your own meal, doing everything for yourself that week of your fight. I train 8 weeks for a long time for my fights, and then to leave to go fight somebody else, it ruins the rhythm of everything. So to know that my family, people that can't afford, some of my family can't afford to come and travel and watch me fight, they want to see it live. Being able to have them come live, making sure that I can bring them to the events, that is the most important thing to me.
That's so awesome. So this is the first time ever CFC, and you know there's a lot of amateur MMA fighters here. What would be if they could have the best advice that could really help their career out, what would you tell them?
When you think you've done enough cardio, you haven't. Do more.
That's it?
And hydrate. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, up until about 4 years ago, I wasn't drinking enough water my whole career.
And that really affected your performance?
It affected my performance in the gym, affected my performance out in the cage. It affected me a lot.
Okay, so what would you say? You said you trained for 8 weeks before a fight. What would you say is the hardest part about training for a fight?
Every day is hard. It doesn't matter. Every day is hard. Every day, look, the days you come in and it's easy, right? The next day when you come in, those guys that weren't there the day before, they're fresh. But you worked out the day before hard. So every day when your camp goes, they can take a day off. The guys that you're training with, they can have a day off because they don't have a fight coming up.
Starting to get mad.
Hey, you see? Look. No.
Superstars over here. They're superstars.
You got the UFC light heavyweight champ trying to steal my spotlight. You see? What a hater.
Daniel's trying to steal your shine. That ain't no good.
What a hater. So that to me is the most important part.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.